you're a descendant of them.
From father.
Yeah.
So in all reality, according to the Bible, everyone can never be mixed.
It's good you guys are doing this. I mean,
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying with you. You might think you're a so-called white man, right? But you're probably not a so-called white man. You're probably a so-called black man that looks white.
My mum did say something about me to me that she said like she's known a lot of people that have had like a black parent or a white parent where they would say it's mixed race in this day and age, but then the child has come out quite fair skinned.
Yep.
And obviously through generations of breeding,
they look lighter.
Yeah, you could look lighter and not even know about it.
Wait, that's the Irish, because the Irish were originally a dark-skinned nation of people. They were invaded.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why even today, most Irish people got a deep tan.
Yeah.
But it's not really about colour. It's all about nationality. This is what we're dealing with in the Bible. Because you got a nation of people in the Bible.
Do you know about the potato famine and things like that?
Yeah, I know all about that. Was all set up. There was no potato famine.
You could have eaten the potatoes still. It's called blight now. People would look at it and
but there was no potato famine. What it was, the English, they were taking all the food straight out of Ireland,
and
man. Starving Irish people.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you know about them sending convicts and criminals to Ireland?
Of course.
There was a time and period when
the same thing they did in Australia.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to get to is, give me Deuteronomy 32 and 8. I'm gonna show you in the Bible where God Himself separated the races.
You read the whole Bible?
Of course.
Yeah.
So this
how do you feel about the war in Afghanistan?
That's all has to happen. Whether or not it's a righteous war or not, obviously we all know it's not a righteous war, but these things have to happen because it's leading up to that last war, which is going to be World War III, which is in the Bible.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people like to say it's not about race. It is about race. This whole Bible, from beginning to end, is about race. But it's not necessarily about colour.
Yeah.
Like I explained, I got a little cousin, right? She looks lighter than you, right?
Yeah.
But her dad's a black man. But she's of my family because of her father's line.
Yeah, that's to do with your genes, and obviously
your genes, but the seed, because the sperm is from the father.
Yeah.
A woman receives the seed and she incubates that seed.
Did you hear about there was a family and they had a child, and it was I can't remember what country they were from.
The Nigerians.
Yeah, Nigerians.
And he came out looking white.
Yeah.
But it's still a Nigerian.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Exactly.
But that's an albino. But what I'm going to show you.
Yeah, but a lot of doctors were saying it wasn't albino.
It is. But really, when you go, I'm going to show you because. Okay, you said about the white man, right? You said like, oh, the violence and the nature of it, right?
The nature of, like, if you look at war. There was an Afghan man who said to me, we're not the ones that are, it was translated to me, but he was saying that we're not the ones that are bringing the killing machines and the war machines to his country. Like he said, he's not the one that's bringing the war. We're the ones that are bringing the machines to kill to his country. Yeah. And it's our government that try and face off in order to say, now don't film me on the camera or anything.
Oh yeah.
I'll get in a lot of trouble. But he said to us that we're the ones bringing the killing machines and things to his country, and they weren't the ones that started this war in the first, because America and Britain are trying to use an excuse that the Mujahideen and Taliban are fighting on the basis that we're invaders, which we are, and at the same time there's a big sort of conspiracy about oil in Afghanistan, where the people in Afghan haven't actually got the money and the technology to find and source the oil within their country, which is a whole nother thing.
Well, and lithium. They got lithium over there, 1 billion worth of deposits of lithium there.
And what do you need lithium for?
Well,
to make new age batteries for mobile phones.
And you also got the heroin, which is the main thing, the opium.
And that's another thing.
Which they're running.
Yeah, and our government's been pointing the finger towards the Middle East, saying that basically they're the ones that are corrupting the whole of Europe, etc. But you got to think, how is it getting here? You know, because it's a long journey.
Well, like I said, you said about the so-called. This is what I said. The so-called white men. Not every. You got to deal with nations. In the Bible, there's a nation of people known as Edomites.
Yeah.
You ever heard of the Edomites?
I've not heard of them, no.
Have you? Give me Genesis 25, and I'm gonna show you. See, this book is a history book.
In Afghanistan, you have the ANA, which is the Afghan National Army.
Yeah.
And they fight alongside the British Army, and they're some of the bravest men you'll ever see. They will do things that you just wouldn't do, because in the back of your mind you think you could die. But the way that their religion is stated within the Muslim religion is that when the way they're going to die has already been depicted by God. Yeah. So if they was to run across the field and get hit by a bullet, that was meant to be.
No, but that's just
and that's why they are
warriors.
Fearless.
All ancient warriors was like that. All ancient warriors was like that. Every warrior nation, they lived for the battle.
Yeah.
And if whether they died, it was based upon the higher power, not upon the weaponry. But going into what? Because
war is something that's frowned upon, and I don't believe in war. I've seen war, yeah. I don't believe in war, but I think you can't have. If you look around the streets of London and the peace that we have now to have this conversation, without war there isn't peace, and a lot of people frown upon that and they say that's not true, but it is true. Because without
you got righteous war and you got war in wickedness.
Yeah, and without there being a conflict, there can't be peace.
But at the end of the day, this here, what we're living in right now, ain't peace. This is just like slavery.
It's a society.
It's a society.
They say the easiest way to keep slaves is to not have them know that they're slaves.
Exactly that.
But and that's why people get paid such minuscule wages working in call centres and things like that.
I can explain to you why, like you identified, it's come out of Europe, these things. Like
getting a degree has become a corporate. It's become a corporate scam.
It's all corrupt. The whole world, if you look at anything on this planet Earth, it has become corrupted no matter what you look at. Whether it's pharmaceuticals with their petrochemical drugs that kill you, AIDS, all of that. But there's a reason for it according to the Bible. Give me Genesis 25 and 25. Let's read that.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 25.
Go on.
And the first came out red.
Read up a bit. Give me actually go back a bit. Now you know about Isaac and Rebecca, right?
Yeah.
Abraham had a son.
Yeah, and he had to.
And the Lord said to sacrifice him, but
sacrifice your own son.
But then the Lord said you didn't have to, and that was Isaac, right?
Yeah.
Now Isaac had a wife named Rebecca.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't get the brother on the camera, right? Now.
Get me on the camera.
Yeah. I'm gonna show you where you get the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people, which are all one people.
Yeah.
And where you get what you call so-called white people, Europeans.
European.
I'm gonna show you where they come from. Read on.
It's Genesis 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me get this thing. You see what I'm saying? I knew he was a Jake from the way he was coming up, but you see, like, hey man, he admitted it, man. man didn't feel hurt to admit that Jesus Christ is a so-called black man. You gotta give a man a hand for that. But you see, people are starting to wake up to the fact that the so-called white man is the devil. They just don't fully understand what's going on. You know? See if he's running up. But he looks like he was in the army or something. But they know it. They know the wickedness of what's going on. Right? Go on, read this anyway. Read this for edification.
And the first came, verse 22, and the children struggled together within her.
Yep.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
Go on.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord.
So these two children was fighting together in Rebecca's womb, man. Go on.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nations, 2 races, man. And these 2 races were gonna be the superhero and the super villain. So you can understand. That's why they were fighting together in the womb, because there was that enmity, man. Because one was destined to be the vessel of dishonor, and one was destined to be the vessel of mercy and honor. Read on.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Right?
And
the 2 different people. That's why I saw, if you check the spirit, this guy that just came up here, he didn't have the spirit of the so-called white man. He didn't come up here like a snake. He didn't slither up like a snake. He came up here like a sheep. See, you got these cats out there that they would have just started cursing him out, you know, just because he looks so-called white. But really, he's really a so-called black man. That's what he is. And you can tell by his spirit, man, but you guys are not spiritual, man. Go on.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Right, and that's evident, man. That's why the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American Indian is stronger than the so-called white man. And then you'll get some so-called white men who can go toe-to-toe with them. That's really because they're really Israelites scattered among the so-called white men.
Okay.
Like you guys be watching the Olympics and you be seeing these, you got my son Cracker who going hard and doing some crazy madness.
Yeah.
That's really because he's probably a so-called black man.
Yeah, could be.
Like Federer, man. Federer's a Jake, man.
It's a legend.
Federer's a Jake, man. Nadal is a Jake. You know? That's how it goes. You gonna get that, man. That's why you got certain men that they got the soul. They can sing a certain way, they can dance a certain way.
Yeah, John Travolta.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make is when you go back in history now, go back and read that again. You had two nations that were born from Rebecca, two races, because the word nation means race. They teach us today in this modern society that Britain is not a nation. Britain is a corporation.
But you're British.
No, I'm not British. I'm a British subject.
You're a British citizen.
I'm a British citizen, but that's not my nationality. I'm an Israelite. You know? That's your nationality is really written in the Bible what nationality you are. These things today, like Britain, like Ireland, that's really a corporation.
That's all to do with the Crusades as well. That's why the Crusades were originally.
Well, do you know what colour they were?
What, the Crusaders?
Do you know who they were?
A lot of them were people that were trying to.
They were all black men. Did you know that Europe was ruled by black men for 1,000 years?
What's that to do with what?
The Dark Ages.
Yeah.
The Dark Ages, King Richard the Lionheart, all them guys, they were black. You could look, we ain't got it with us today.
Oh.
I didn't bring my books. Oh, but I have got King James of Scotland, man. That's from the Scottish Library, man.
You know Bob Marley is
his dad's was Scot.
Yeah.
And he's an Israelite, man.
You know
can
when my
tell by his
birthday is?
flavouring. Same as his.
Same as Bob Marley.
That's why he had that soul and he had that flavour. Because he was really an Israelite, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot. You know they got these stereotypes. They say white men can't dance.
They say white men can't jump, yeah?
White men can't jump. But guess what?
Look at the guy in the Olympics, the ginger guy.
That's because he's probably a so-called black.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying.
You got some so-called white men that they're not really. They got a different spirit, a different flavour. Like they could sing a certain way. They when you hear that, like tell the truth. When you first heard Robin Thicke sing, tell me you didn't think that was a black man. Did you actually see his face?
I've never actually heard of him.
Or what about Maverick Sabre?
Phil.
Have you heard Maverick Sabre?
No, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Bobby Caldwell?
No.
Simply Red.
Heard of UB40?
UB40.
Yeah.
Those guys, they look white, but they're really black, man. Because they sing with soul. But when I say black, I don't mean just the colour.
Yeah.
I mean they're really Israelites.
I listen to a lot of like black music, like Motown and like, a lot of new stuff from Jamaica.
But
like,
have you ever heard of
Vibes Cartel?
Yeah,
have you
and stuff
you
like
ever
that.
heard of Blue Eyed Soul?
No, I'm not.
Blue Eyed Soul is people like the Average White Band, UB40, Maverick Sabre, Adelaide,
Yeah.
which they sing soul music like black people do.
Yeah.
Because they're really black people, like Amy Winehouse.
Like Adele.
Adele, she sings like a black woman.
Yeah, she does.
Straight up, go on, read that for me. But because it goes back to two different nations.
I'm gonna come back in a minute, yeah? I'll catch up with you
Alright,
guys.
cool,
It's
man.
been well good talking to you.
Alright, man, but you're an Israelite, man. You ain't no white man.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much.
Alright, cool, man.
Good.
Yeah, later, man. Go on, let's carry on this. Hey, man, but we gotta push that vibration out there, man. But he ain't no fucking white man.
Yeah.
He got a cool spirit on him.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, yeah.
Go on, this is the Edomite right here, like, just stiff. Anyway, go on, man.